Hello, I chose to do the last option, read an article about mapping. And the article I chose, let me flip to my notes here, was titled, Agencies Begin High-Resolution Coastal Mapping, printed on Catalyst website, June 25th, 2018, by Allison Barlow. And what it talks about is the Florida Coastal Mapping Program is bringing together various parties and agencies to create a strategy for mapping Florida's coastal waters. The goal is to have a high-resolution benthic map by 2028. The mapped area will cover from the Florida shoreline to the oceanic shelf. And I had to look up benthic map, and according to the National Oceanic Service, a benthic map is a map of anything associated with the bottom of a body of water. It could be plant life, it could be minerals, it could be formations, sand formations, wildlife habitat, anything that's under the water. And they are derived from aerial imagery, underwater photos, acoustic surveys, and data gathered from sediment samples. So sounds like fun. Anyway, the resulting map is viewed using geographic information systems tools. That really sounds very technical, but they look like illustrations superimposed over pictures of water. Anyway, at a length of 1,320 miles, the Florida coastline is the longest continuous coastline in the nation. I didn't realize that. I think they might be missing some parts out here in the Pacific Northwest, but however, revenues associated with coastal waters top $30 billion annually. Wow, that's a lot. I don't know where they get that number from. It seems like a lot. However, only 19% of the near seabeds and 6% of the offshore areas are mapped. That seems amazing. So, the Florida Coastal Mapping Project is acting as a gathering place for all of these agencies, and there's a big long list of them here, that are participating in this project, taking pictures of the ocean floor to create this map. So when they get all of this together, there will be many uses for it. It will benefit fishermen in the obvious ways, also in some of the less obvious ways, as it will document critical fish habitats, spawning areas, and environmental challenges to the fishing industry, places that need to be conserved. It will help those who are in charge of managing harbors, inlets, ports, etc. Assist in planning for storms and assessing flood hazard. That seems obvious in Florida. Shoreline erosion planning, protect homes, etc. And the protection of turtles, seabirds, and other wildlife that are endangered in their habitats. The development of offshore renewable energy and many other applications, I would guess, will also help with some seafloor related infrastructure planning and stuff like that too. So using aerial photos and digital information to create maps seems kind of obvious to me. I do think it's kind of funny that it seems low tech now. Only a few decades ago, the idea that you might take a high resolution picture of 1,320 miles of shoreline would have been laughable, inconceivable. Like, are you crazy? And now it seems a bit mundane and a bit cut and paste. Like, I expected this article to talk about more advanced technology, and it really is drones and cameras. So personally, with the way the shoreline changes, and here in Oregon, I'm well acquainted with the fact that the shoreline can change from month to month drastically. Sometimes it can change in a week if there's a big enough storm, in a way that can affect ships going in and out of Coos Bay Harbor. So I'm not sure why they aren't working to develop a more fluid process that's easier to update. This huge digital quilt, if you will be out of date long before it's finished. So I hope the next article I read about this will tell me about some amazing technology that can be installed and continually update and run models and predict where things are going and all that sort of stuff, because I think that's cool. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity to get out there and read something new. And surprising that so little of Florida's shoreline is mapped, especially with all the pictures I've seen of beaches and sharks from above. But surprising that it's not mapped, and interesting that they're doing something about it. Thank you.